Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. I'm back again for your January 2015 monthly tarot horoscope. This is for everyone with their sun, moon, or ascendant in Leo. For the big cats, I had to pause my computer for a moment, so I've laid out a spread already, and I had started this spread. I just started getting into it, but basically the first card in this spread is the reverse and the temperance card in reverse, okay? In my deck, the temperance card in reverse means that all this emotion is spilling out. You kind of lost your temper. You know, you've kind of had an issue where something's really driving you crazy and you've really you can't control your emotions. Your emotions are really out of control. And it's due to the fact that there's been an injustice, a messy divorce, a bad breakup, a terrible legal battle, something that's really upset you. It doesn't have to be those things, but a lot of times those are like big things that can cause it. Just being really upset, you know, being hot and cold, needing time to recover after a fight, to calm down. So something's happened where you probably got in a fight with somebody, you know, your relationship with that somebody, and you got the Hermit card in reverse. So that makes me feel like an engagement may have been broken off. The person that you got into a fight with was somebody that you're in like a serious relationship with. It could just be a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It could be, you know, the reason, you know, you're going through this is because it is a divorce. Because to me, the Hermit card in reverse is taking the ring off and saying, not anymore. You know, I'm sorry, but thanks, you know. The Hermit in reverse is also not taking time off, not having enough time to really think things through, not thinking things through, and moving east. So those of you who are, you know, this can also be a move. You know, Leos, you could have moved and, you know, you're just kind of all over the place emotionally, you know. I got this card for myself right after I had moved. I mean, I really was just temperamental, pissy and moany, irritable, you know, that's the kind of thing, you know, guys, look out, you know, if this is your wife, you know, you're watching this for your wife, this is not the time to say, honey, you know, it looks like maybe you need to go to the gym, okay? That's when, you know, things happen, okay? You don't want to say something like that at this kind of a time. This is kind of a vulnerable place for you, Leo, because Leos, you know, try to keep it cool. You know, they're kind of cool cats. You know, they're kind of cool. But they have a fiery side, and if you piss them off, I mean, they really blow. So I feel like something's really blown here, and you got this fire and air too. So maybe your partner's an air sign, and you're obviously a Leo, and you may have some water in you as well. And so it's just like it's kind of like fireworks, you know, between the two of you, which in the beginning was probably good, but now it's probably coming to a screeching halt, and you're just like, I don't want to be with this person anymore. And the foundation is interesting. The foundation is needing to go on vacation, needing to live life to the fullest. It's the Queen of Cups in reverse. And the Queen of Cups is somebody that, to me, it's like, I think of this as like the aquarium, okay? This is like the aquarium card because it's just really, it's all about these tortoises. She, you know, is she's in her zone. But it's sort of like she's overwhelmed with so overwhelmed with emotion and so overwhelmed with things coming to her. And it just feels like she needs to she needs to take a break from it all. And even psychics need to take breaks, you know? So to me, it's just, but ultimately it's needing to go to an aquarium to kind of calm down, to kind of, you know, take a break from the action. And since this is the foundation, I feel like you really didn't get the time. I mean, fights break out notoriously over the holidays. Why? Because people get stressed out. That time that they needed to take a rest, they didn't rest. And so therefore, you know, things happen. You know, things really just, people get really upset. They're not getting the sleep that they really need. And it's just kind of coming to a head. And in the recent past, you got the reverse of the Hanged Man card. And the reverse of the Hanged Man card is, I think of it as illness. I think of it as hanging on but barely. Someone you know, or so you or someone you may know has Alzheimer's. Someone that's going kind of in and out of consciousness. They're spending a lot of time in bed. You may be spending a lot of time in bed, or you may have been spending a lot of time in bed. Sleeping. You may have just gotten over being sick. This was, you needed to see the doctor at one point. This is a person who's not taking care of themselves, okay? At the least, they're not taking care of themselves. They're hanging on, but they're not eating, they're not sleeping, they've lost a ton of weight, they're emaciated, and this isn't a really happy place. The Hanged Man in the upright is a good place. It is having inner strength and patience, but this is sort of like, at one point, you needed to get back into the world. At one point, you needed to let go of the tree, or the tree needed to let go of you. You needed to basically fly on your own, and you went past that point. This makes me feel like some of you are living at home. That's coming to me. Like you've outgrown your welcome at maybe your parents' house, and they're maybe that's what the fight's about. Maybe they're kicking you out. You've been in a cave for a while, and they're like, well, you need to either get out or get a job or do something different than what you're doing, and maybe you're resistant to it. So you also have the what's crowning you is the Knight of Cups in the upright position, and the Knight of Sorry, did I say Knight of Cups? Knight of Swords, okay? And the Knight of Swords is someone who's very determined. This is someone who is very determined this is determination, okay? This is like pure determination. But someone who's determined to win. Someone who has to win at all costs. They don't think of the consequences. They go in and they'll fight to the bitter end, and they know that they're going to win. There's no question in their mind that they're going to lose. This is also family squabbles, too. I feel like there's a lot of family stuff. The house stuff, family stuff. Your parents may be getting a divorce, for those of you who are younger. It just feels really like there's a lot going on. It's very stressful. I just feel like your head, some of you may have migraines. Some of you may have, like, pressure, like right here. Right above your eyebrows. I feel like there's this pressure on your head. Some of you may just suffer from migraines, but this is stress-induced migraine. I feel like those of you who have migraines, I feel like some of you need to drink more tea, more mint tea. There's something about mint coming through. That the mint plant, for some reason, is good for you. Peppermint, like peppermint tea. Marshmallow would also be good for you. I feel like these are very calming things. I feel like basically you need to just like kind of do things that are cool, eat things that are cooling, like cucumbers and yogurt, things that have cooling properties. Trying to think of there's a whole bunch of cold property foods, and it's not coming to me right now. So like salads and carrots and I think celery. I don't know if celery is a cold property food. Definitely cucumbers. Avocados would be good, although I'm not sure if they're a cold property food. Yeah, you kind of need to work on your diet. I feel like that's coming through to me. I'm not sure why. It says what's right around the corner, which you don't see coming, which is deciding to break free of a relationship that is no longer working, quitting a job or leaving a situation, doing a job or doing a job you love rather than for money. I feel like you guys are going through a divorce. I feel like if you're not going through a divorce, you're going through a breakup. You've decided to it's not working. The relationship's not working. And it's important for you to know that this is good for you. This is good because this is the devil in the reverse position. Okay, this is the devil in reverse. So basically, you were in this relationship, and this is how you were. But now you're soon to be free. Okay, you're soon to break out of it. You're gonna break out of it. You're gonna break free, and it's gonna be great. And once you break free, I feel like the path going forward, your trajectory of your life is actually going to improve a lot. Emotionally, you're going to be lifted up out of a place of hardship. Maybe you want to be lifted up. Maybe you want some people to help you. Maybe you need some help. And this is the angels coming to help you. This is family coming to help you, lift you up out of hardship. This is a good time to ask friends and family for help. You may not want to admit help, but this would be a good time. Emotionally, I feel like it's what you need. You need some help. And you need to, if you're living in the same house, I feel like you need to get out of the house. You need to go into a different house. To me, this is separation. This is separating, So maybe you filed the divorce papers, but you haven't actually left the house. It's time to actually go find a place to live, I can't believe it, but I found this place on a Thursday and I moved in on Friday. So it's possible to find things quick, Just look. Just start looking on Craigslist. See what's out there. Drive around if you have to, take like half a Saturday and just drive around and see what's available, how much they are, and compare, for as far as apartments. Here's the thing. The Queen of Wands is in reverse, okay? And the Queen of Wands is, it's the inability to have children. It's the frustration that comes with the inability to have children. Losing touch with nature. Being on what I call electronic overload, where you're plugged in the computer all day. Being overpowered and not getting what you want. So I feel like it goes along with your relationship issues. Maybe, you were in a relationship with the devil and they were overpowering you and you felt like you couldn't get what you wanted, or you never got what you wanted. Maybe the entire relationship. And maybe in this divorce, you're not going to get what you want. But it seems like see, again, you've got this thing about needing to go out of the house. It seems like things are going to end up okay. You did get a neutral card, so I feel like after you just kind of you need to let it go. You need to let go of the relationship. Let go of what's happened. Let go of all the problems that you had. Let go of the strife and the struggle and the hardship, because that's coming to an end and you're moving on with your life. And it's important that you start thinking about those things. And embrace the new year, embrace, all the positive things that are going to be happening to you in 2015, You are, it says, someone who needs music in their life desperately, someone who does not want to go out of the house, resistance to taking action. So you kind of are stuck, you kind of are in a place where your attitude is, why should I leave? They should leave, But really, it's best for you on an emotional level to leave. You need to pack your things and go and put it behind you. And the more you kind of think about how and be in that position of they should bow down and do what you want, then you're actually disempowered. You're disempowered, because you may not get what you want there. And you need to face that and be like, okay, I'm not going to get what I want in this situation, but I am going to be happy in life. I am going to be abundant in life. I am going to get freedom and peace of mind from all of this. And maybe that's not what you want. What you want is payback, but you may not get payback today. You may not get payback in the month of January. Hell, you may never get payback. But I always tell people this, the best revenge you can have on somebody is not taking the higher road, but is living a positive life, living a happy life, okay? It's going to eat somebody else up inside if you go out and you marry Mr. Right, It's going to eat them up, because then they'll see that you're happy, And they'll be jealous, and they'll be like, why can't I have that? You know, how I can't believe I fucked it up so badly, you know? And you're just going to be like, well, I found happiness. I found love. You're going to move on. You're going to be fine. The Ace of Pentacles is the outcome here. And I don't particularly see that this is... I feel like this is achievable. I feel like this is possible. I feel like this is going to happen. I don't feel like you're blocked from this. I feel like this is going to happen. Maybe even in the divorce, you're going to get a settlement check out of it or something. You're going to get something out of it. This is good fortune and happiness. Again, this is you ending up happy. At the end of the month, I feel like you're going to be in a much better frame of mind. Right now, you're really in the thick of it. Right now, you can't see the forest through the trees, and you're just like, get me out of here. I hate this situation. I hate my life. Why am I doing this? And why does this have to happen? And all that stuff. And you're going through all that right now. But in the end, you will, I feel like, achieve prosperity and abundance. And you'll be happy. And you need to get out of the house, though. You need to disconnect from your computer. You need to focus on connecting with nature, going for a walk outside. I know it's freezing in a lot of places, and you're probably digging your house out of snow right now, but nevertheless, take 2 feet outside and then 2 feet back in, and then at least that you did that for the day. You know, that's your getting outside. I feel like some of you really need to do more reading. I feel like reading would be a really good, books are coming to me, a really good, maybe you love to read or maybe you love to write, and books are a really great escape. For someone who's kind of on electronic overload, they need to read. You need to read. You need to turn your computer off, turn your phone off, pick up a good book, go to the library and get like 20 bucks. I don't care if you start some of them and don't finish anything. It doesn't matter. Who cares? You know, skip to the good parts and then put it aside. Skip to the good parts, do it again. That's how I do it. You know, you're an adult. You can, I always say this to people. I say, you know, you can do what you want. You know, when it comes to books, read what you want. You know, you don't find, you know, periodicals interesting, do something else. You know, read sports. I don't know. You know, if you're into biographies, read biographies. You know, pick some books that you'll like and actually read them. And that'll give your mind something to think about that's not this relationship. That's not what you're going through here. And for those of you who are single and who are not in a relationship, okay, I feel like you've put your life on pause because there's something that you're waiting for and you haven't gotten it yet. Maybe it's, maybe it is something to do with legal stuff. You know, maybe you are waiting on a settlement. And maybe you are going to get it in the end. But, you know, in the meantime, you can't put your life on hold. You still have to live your life as best you can and, you know, go through your bucket list. Do things that you've been waiting to do. Things that you've needed to do. Things that you've, you know, wanted to do maybe your whole life. And, it's important that you don't stop living your life. It's just so important. And I feel like some of you are the ones that are single. Maybe you're the one that's moving. You know, maybe you're moving east. Maybe you live out west and you're like, I hate it here. It's too many hot guys. I'm just kidding. You know, I don't know why that would be an issue, but maybe, you know, you want to go to New York. Maybe you're like, I want to get out of here. You know, you're in Kansas and you're not happy with Kansas anymore. You know, you just want to go party in New York. So I say, go do it. You know, maybe you're frustrated and you're just like, maybe you are getting over a breakup. Maybe you're getting over a breakup, but you're single now. And, you know, you got into a fight, and you weren't taking care of yourself. But now it's like you're done with it. You know, you really are free to be single, live your life, and go out and achieve your dreams. And you still, too, need to, you know, be careful of how much time you're spending close to electronics. You know, be careful how much time you're spending on the phone. Do things that make you happy, but do things that are not electronic related, you know. You know, we get so inundated with what's on TV or what's on movies or what's on, you know, I mean, our computer and our phone, and it's just like, at the end of the day, make yourself some chili, I'm making beans right now. I'm baking beans, and they take like 8 hours. Okay, do something crazy like that. Make like a 5-page recipe, and do something to challenge yourself, and like again, take your mind off of this relationship that maybe you had, you don't have anymore. For those of you who are single now, and enjoy your freedom. That's it. I feel like that's all the message that I'm getting right now. I do want to pick a final card just to see if there's any final messages that are going to come through. You got I picked 3 final cards. They're very interesting. The first one is the Ace of Wands in reverse, which is, again, different than other decks. The Ace of Wands is family drama, contention, and fighting among 2 or 3 siblings, sibling rivalry or jealousy among friends, foxy or cunning people trying to take advantage of you. So, I feel like for you, it goes back to family issues. Some of you are having really hard time with your family. Some of you are really not getting along with your siblings. Some of you are dealing with maybe a jealous friend or a jealous bunch of friends, Those fire signs, typically, people get jealous of fire signs because they have more light. They're on fire. You notice them. They don't really blend in. You can't blend a Leo into the crowd. A Leo just stands out. That's just how it is. Whether it's their hair, which a lot of people have messaged me about your hair. You guys are awesome. Or whether it's their clothes, their sense of style is really sophisticated. They have a completely different sense of style than everybody else. They're really into jewelry. I feel like some of you have like a nose ring, and some of you have like lip piercings, and some of you have like eyebrow piercings, and you may be tattooed, and you're just, you're different. You guys are different. And so that's why people become jealous of you. If there's people in your life that are jealous of you, just know that that's because you're awesome. Don't let that blow up your ego, though. Don't be like, yeah, well, I know that already. I feel like some of you are going like that right now. I guess what I'm trying to say is you're different, and it's okay to be different. And it's okay to express yourself, and just know that that's why they're jealous. And jealousy is one of those weird things that you can't really help. You can't really do anything about. It's just kind of like the green-eyed monster just kind of comes up, It's hard not to be jealous of somebody who's beautiful. It's hard not to be jealous of somebody who's rich. It's hard not to be jealous of somebody who's happy, And you may be all 3, actually. So don't let any of the haters get to you. Just don't, And if you need to do some Reiki healing, people are sending you negative energy. Get some Reiki healing, And I usually refer to my friend Catherine, and for doing that, because I don't do that. I'm healing, but I don't do the Reiki stuff. So you might want to think about that. I guess that's the message there. And there may be people that are trying to take advantage of you in some way. Your good nature. Maybe you've lent some people money, and maybe they haven't paid you back. Or maybe you kind of have something going on where you maybe lent a friend something, and they borrowed it and they didn't give it back. Or that could have been money too. So there's some issues, I feel like, there with some money, some tricky stuff. You never really want to lend anybody money if possible, especially friends, because it really ruins friendships, and it's such a sticky thing. I feel like there are people that really need money, and there are people that need help, and it's hard to distinguish between the people that really need it and the people that are just like trying to get more, or just trying to get something out of you because they can, You're also stuck on what I would call one-track thinking. In the upright position, this is the girl who's standing on the edge of this kind of cliff here, the road. She's come to the end of the road, and it's the Three of Wands in reverse. Okay, and I think of it in reverse, in the reverse position. She has settled for something less because either she didn't want to make the decision, she didn't want to leave a situation, or it felt really, it feels safer to just stay where you are. Again, that's kind of the issue of kind of like, you kind of want to deal with status quo. You want to have things as status quo right now. But this is the new year. This is January. So this is not a time to kind of keep things at status quo. This is a time to embrace the new, to embrace the change, embrace the new year. And don't get stuck on thinking it has to be done a certain way, and if I can't get it this way, then what's the use? What's the point if you can't have it this way? No. Life is one of those crazy roller coasters with the loop-de-loops, And I wrote, life is a roller coaster on the top of this. Partly because your life has been a roller coaster. And, Leo's a lot about, there's a lot of drama going on. There's a big drama, big things happen with Leo's and Leo's life. But there's also the concept of life as a roller coaster being a metaphor for the way things happen. And that you can't really... There's a lot of unexpected twists and turns, and you can't think that it's always going to be straight or it's always going to be a certain way, or the only way to get from point A to point B is this one way, because it's not that way. It's full of loops. It's full of turns. It's full of unexpected things that happen. So you never know what can happen. Okay, Leo, I want you to open your mind, think, okay, anything is possible, Get rid of the limits. I feel like you had some limiting ideas about things. And it's kind of a strange concept to have a limiting idea. It's just something that you're thinking about that stops you from doing something because you think it's not going to work if you do it that way. But you can spend all day going, well, there's no point in making beans because it's not going to work out if I make the beans because it's going to take 6 hours because it's going to be this. But sometimes you just need to make the beans. Sometimes you just need to do it, Shit or get off the pot. That's my counsel to you. And then on a strange note, you got the Hierophant in reverse. And in my deck, the Hierophant in reverse is sexual knowledge. It says to come out of the closet. It's the Tree of Knowledge, which is learning. And it's the Tree of Good, which is knowing what's right. And the Tree of Evil, which is knowing what is wrong. It's sort of like it's sort of like higher wisdom. It's knowing yourself, okay? Knowing who you are, knowing that you're a sexual being that has certain preferences. I generally think of this as someone who's bisexual, gay, lesbian, transgender, there are all the shades in between. There's gradients in between those. This is somebody who has kind of maybe needs to acknowledge their insecurities on the inside. Maybe needs to acknowledge who they really are and needs to accept who they really are and tell the world, share it with the world and be like, this is how I am, Sorry to break it to you, but that's how it is, And so there's that, okay? You're also a sexual being, and it's okay to be a sexual being. And I feel like there is still part of, like, our culture which is very repressed, sexually repressed, where you're not allowed to have sexual desires. In still cultures, you're not allowed to love somebody of the same sex. And things like that. And so it's just kind of one of those things where you need to, I feel like, go through a period of self-examination and be like, okay, well, what is it that I prefer? Do I want to date a woman? If you're a woman, You know, if you're a guy, do you want to date guys? You know, it's okay to have these, to be that, to be yourself, to have this desire, you know. You don't, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go out and act on it like right away. It just is sort of like something that you need to acknowledge in yourself. It's higher knowledge, it's higher wisdom, it's self-acceptance, self-knowledge. This is also, the tree of knowledge is also about learning things, learning about what is right and what is wrong. Doing the right thing because you know it's right, okay? This would be where you don't want to get into any situation where you're sleeping with someone who has a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or you're sleeping with somebody who's married or who's, you know, is separated or whatever. It's one of those things where you know the situation and you know what's right, you know what you should do. Doing it is another story, but you know what's right. Inherently, you know. It's very difficult when you have, you know, somebody, Leos and fire signs, they're very strong sexual creatures. They need to have sex. I feel like this desire and this burning and lustfulness can lead them down sometimes the wrong path, where it's just like they're constantly looking for something that they're needing to attain and they can't quite get there. As far as sex, it's like it's never enough. So you need to come to a point and say, okay, how are you being responsible in your life? You know, are you sleeping with everybody on the planet? You know, is that the right thing to do? What is the right thing to do? You know, this is doing what's right for others. Just remember, it's like that Star Trek, you know, saying the good of the many outweigh the good of the few. And so you need to think less about yourself as far as your selfish sexual desires when it comes to, you know, having 2 or 3 girls or having 2 or 3 boyfriends or sleeping with everybody. You know, how does it make the girlfriend or boyfriend feel if there's cheating going on the third party, whoever that third party is? So say you're dating somebody and they have a girlfriend or boyfriend. How would it make you feel if you were in that girlfriend or boyfriend's shoes? You know, wouldn't it piss you off if your spouse was cheating? You know, things like that. And so it's sort of like, though that's what the good of the many is. The good of the many is thinking about others, thinking about, you know, the third party that's involved. Thinking about other people, thinking about how other people feel. You may not feel anything when you sleep with these people, but they do. And it's not right to lead them into the idea that you're going to be with them when you have no intention to, you know? So it's about being honest, too. I feel like you need to be honest with yourself. You need to be honest with others. I feel like some of you are, I feel like technically bisexual, but you haven't admitted it to yourself yet. And that's okay. That's going to maybe come in time. But it's just something to kind of keep in the back of your mind. So some interesting stuff that's come up for you guys. You know, don't get bogged down in the pressures of society to be a certain way. Be yourself. Be your lovable, adorable, big-haired, colorful, crazy self. As long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as you're doing the right thing, you know, I think things are going to work out for you. So, anyways, I wish you lots of love. Have a wonderful new year. Big hugs, big kisses, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Take care.